Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello, and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
And I'm Taylor.
And this week, we got no Steven. Because apparently someone has a birthday or something.
Yeah. Whatever, I guess. I guess
know, right?
you kind of have to. Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay.
You didn't realize that's why he wasn't here?
Oh, I thought his birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, and he didn't spend it with his family. He spent it with us fucking playing hockey and getting into fights.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good way to spend a birthday. So
Exactly. Well, he was on the bench.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. But so it's just the two of us this week.
Yeah.
And we got some NASCAR to talk about and some F1. And I'm assuming you're going to want to start with F1, Taylor.
Well, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. So I was at the track last weekend. And the first race that we could watch that wasn't like at 2 a.m., I couldn't watch because I was flagging. But I did watch the last, I think it was like 30 laps or something like that.
I mean, that's all you had to watch, really.
Yeah, which is all I had to watch, basically. But what a crazy weekend. Like, Lando won?
Yeah, Lando finally gets his first win.
Yeah, how many years has he been in F1 now? Like, 7? 6? 7?
I think it's like 6. I don't know. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lando finally gets his win.
He finally gets his win. It was I think it's safe to say it was a disaster for Red Bull. Not that they didn't, like, they still finished the race. Like, both cars finished the race. But I think strategy-wise, it was a disaster for them.
Yeah, it's only Lando's 6th year, by the way.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, it could have...
I mean...
But saying it was a disaster for Red Bull, I don't know if you saw the start of it all, but it could have been huge disaster.
So I saw, because I didn't watch the beginning of it. So, like, I went back and I watched the highlights, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the beginning and I was like, Sergio, what are you doing?
That close.
So close.
Yeah, that was glorious. Really glorious.
Can you imagine the stress that, like, every Red Bull guy was in, like, the pits and on the wall was feeling when they saw that? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And then you get the lucky break of Max fucking over his own. Well, first you had the safety car of the what was it?
Was it
Magnussen and Sargent?
Yes. Okay,
did you hear Logan Sargent's like radio after that though?
No, I didn't. What was it?
Oh, he sounded broken.
Well, it is his home. Well, one of his home races, right?
I mean,
we can't even say that it's like his home race because they have 3 in the States.
I mean, you have the rumor also that it's his last race, so.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, listened to his reaction on the radio after that. I was like, oh, buddy, yeah, you're done. You know you're done. Yeah, like it sounded like he was almost crying.
Yeah, he's done. I know it hasn't been confirmed, but that's pretty. Well, it's been like leaked. It's a horribly kept secret.
Yes.
The same that Pacher, is it Pacher in IndyCar was?
Yeah, but that's now been announced. He's basically going to take over for McLaren, except for the 500, but he's going to do the rest of the season.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
Anyway, I guess maybe we'll be seeing Antonelli sooner than later. At Williams.
We'll get to that. I have stuff to talk about. But back to the race. So, yeah, they had the first safety car, and then you had Max deciding that Ballard has to go.
Yeah.
And then basically running that over and damaging his own car in the process, which I definitely think helped Lando in the end. Because Lando didn't just, like, hold him off. He pulled away from Max.
Yeah, like, he had some really good pace, like, towards the end, for sure. And Matt, you can definitely tell that Max's car was damaged. Did you see his interview after? I think it was after The race.
Which part?
It was one of the press. He said, like, someone had asked him, I guess, about that. Him running into the bollard or whatever. And he was like, well, yeah, I took it out so everybody else had a clear way.
Like,
He's
yeah,
like,
Max's entire fucking post-race interview thing was great. And, like, we can talk about that in a second. Because I also have some stuff on that, too. But,
okay.
yeah, so all of these circumstances came together for Norris to win, which is fantastic. Yeah. And for a lot of people out there, because there are some who try to take, obviously, wins away from people being like, well, if something didn't happen, then you wouldn't have won. And that was also a thing in Max's interview, which I kind of want to, which is a part I want to talk about later about Max. But
yes, yeah.
But that's racing, right? Like
that's what happens.
Like, look at the Gasly win. Remember the Gasly Imola win?
Yes. Oh yeah. That was big.
What shenanigans had to happen for that win to happen? Do you remember?
Like, didn't like half the field DNF?
No, it started with what was it? Hulkenberg. Was it Hulkenberg? I think it was Hulkenberg.
I don't know if Hulkenberg. It might have been.
It was one of the Haas's. Maybe it should have been Magnussen. Magnussen.
It wasn't Hulkenberg then
because he wasn't on
Hulkenberg wasn't back. No,
it was either Magnussen or Grosjean.
It might have been Grosjean. Actually, but anyway, I think Grosjean was still at Haas at that point.
If you remember, back to Gasly's first win, one of the Haas cars broke down and parked at the end of the pit lane.
Right. Yes.
Which caused a safety car. And as a result of that safety car, Hamilton in the pits. However, the pit lane was closed.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. And you could like clearly see. Yeah. I remember.
And then on the safety car restart, Leclerc crashed, causing a red flag.
Right.
And all of these things had to happen to get that amazing Gasly Sainz Stroll podium, which is actually still one of my top 5 races of all time.
It was a really good race. There was so much that happened. And it was just like one of those races that you could never predict. But I think it's so good to have a race like Miami that just happened and Norris win because it reminds us that anything can happen. Exactly. It's not just you go into every weekend and expect that Max is going to win. Like, I think that we expect that, but it's so good to have something different, right? And it's always good to see a driver get his first win. Like, it's such a moment for them. As much as I'm like not necessarily a fan of Norris, I'm still happy for him. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, and seeing the other drivers' reaction to Norris winning too. Like, so many guys were congratulating him. A bunch of those young guys, like Leclerc was, Sainz was, Verstappen, like all those guys were happy.
Even
for a guy.
Master got in on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So
it was so good.
Yeah, you love to see a guy get his first win. And, like, for Miami, like, this track had, like, last year we were kind of like, well, do we really want this track on here? Like, it wasn't that good. That was a fine race. Like, you know what? It wasn't terribly boring. Typical kind of street track, you know, shit happens. You find a wall and all of a sudden the race gets interesting, which is basically what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the risk you run on street circuits, is that, yes, it is tight to pass because you can't run wide or do anything. However, if there are mistakes and anything does happen, the race immediately gets interesting.
Yeah. No, it was really good to see. I mean, it sucked that I couldn't watch the full thing, but I mean, even what I did watch, it was honestly, I'll take Miami, but I don't know. I feel like of all 3 races, Miami is my least favorite, but it wasn't bad this year, so like that's good. At least we have improvement, that we're not coming away and being like that was terrible. Cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with Chicago.
That's not going to happen. Do not even think about bringing that up. That's not going to happen. Okay.
All right. Okay.
I will take New York over Chicago. I will take the New York Central Park fucking track.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Pipe dream.
Uh,
But yeah, so like, one thing I want to say about the post-race stuff, again, you had Max kind of being joking Max and basically, I want to take it out. Obviously not, but even he was a guy that he lost the race. He wasn't actually that upset.
No.
Which was good to see. He kind of took it like, yeah, okay, I fucked up. I screwed up. Good win on Norris. Like, it was really well played by Max. And then you also got the thing in the interview where they were kind of asking Norris the question of like, well, do you think it was kind of like a lucky win because like all these things happened, yada yada. And Max, with the fucking best quote, was the whole like, well, if my mom had balls, she'd be my dad. Like, fucking great.
When I saw that clip, I was dying. I was like, honestly, I had a moment of like, how could I have ever hated on Max Verstappen? Because he is so funny.
But like,
to give us that
exactly. Like, remember years ago, I was saying, you know what, Max winning and dominating is great. F1 needs a villain. How do you hate this guy?
I
Honestly.
know. How is he the villain? He's not the villain anymore. Because actually, you know what? I think George is setting himself up for that, and we can have like future conversations about that. But
I would argue
hilarious.
Horner's the villain. Horner's kind of the villain for F1.
I mean, is he really a villain when people just like don't like him?
But like, you don't want Red Bull to succeed because of Horner.
Yeah.
Like if Max went to another team and was successful there, I'd be so much of a fan of his. But it's Red Bull, and I don't want Red Bull because I don't like Horner. So
yeah, that's completely fair.
Yeah,
Horner's the villain of F1 currently.
Yes. So yeah, like for Max to say that, like, God, how could people not hate him? Like, yeah, was fine on the loss, was happy his friend won, basically defended his friend winning, and saying like, yeah, he earned it. Shit happens. That's racing. Best quote: he is essentially a dad with how him and PR.
Oh my gosh, I have seen so many videos on my TikTok of just like him and P interacting, and I'm just dying. He is such a girl dad. It is so cute.
And like you have him streaming and shit, and even like he's a total cat dad. Like how do you hate Max Verstappen? Honestly.
I know. I never thought that I would come around. It's the same thing about Lewis Hamilton. Like I'd say 2 years ago, I was like, I will never come around on these drivers. Like, there's no way that I could dislike any other driver more.
Yeah, you just come around on Lewis Hamilton the second he goes to Ferrari. Oh, yeah, shocker.
I'm not gonna... You know what? Yeah, all right. I'll admit it. I did. 100%.
Maybe
I will own it.
Maybe you'll get the Lewis Max Ferrari lineup in the future.
Oh, my gosh.
Leclerc gets banished to Alpine.
Oh, no. Don't do that to him.
Well.
No. Well, who are they going to get rid of? At Alpine.
One of the French boys. Probably Gasly.
Oh, I love Gasly, though. He's one of my favorites. Anyway. Honestly, F1 this week, content-wise, just
was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. And I guess, did we want to touch on the Williams situation and...
Yes.
A 17-year-old.
Can we stop putting kids?
Right?
Yeah, can we stop putting fucking children in race cars?
I know. What is going on? Like, I don't get it. Also, like, wasn't Antonelli like? What is his stats? Like, do we know? Is he really that successful?
1 second. Let me just pull it up right now.
Because Toto is making it sound like this guy is like God's gift to racing, and I'm like,
Andrea Kimi Antonelli, commonly known as just Kimi Antonelli. Why would you not go with Andrea?
What's wrong with Andrea?
Andrea Antonelli sounds so much better than Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli, you now sound like you're fucking Finnish.
Yeah, truth.
Okay, so he won the Italian F4 championship in 2022. He won FIA Motorsport Games Formula 4 in 2022. He won the ADAC Formula 4. So that is the German Formula 4. Okay. He's done stuff. Raced in Formula Middle East last year and Formula Regional Europe Championship. He's basically been put into everything he can be put in. Yeah, he won the Formula Regional, I guess, F3 last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he wins. Oh, but like, wait a second. It's 12. It's 12 freaking events or 12 races, I think.
What? Okay, I'm
Sorry, I'm
sorry,
just trying
but like,
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was reading the wrong thing. I was looking at like the championship as a
oh,
whole,
okay.
not the season. Yeah. So he ran Formula Regional Europe last year before he got to F2. It's a pretty stacked field, a lot of competitors. Yeah, so it's 20 races. He won how many? Okay, 5.
Oh, okay, okay. So, all right, all right. So his stats are better than I thought they were, but like, still, the point stands. Why are we putting a child?
Okay,
A child.
okay, in Formula 3 last year, again, he is racing for Prima. Good fucking team. Has all the resources behind him. Yada, yada. He still went second, retire, second, fifth, sixth, fourth, first, second, first, fifth, first, fourth, third, 11th, first, second, first, sixth. So he's a constantly guy in the top. He obviously has pace and speed. This year in F2, since he's been in that series, how has he done? Okay, first race of the year, he finished 14th. You know, new to the series, not the greatest. He has then since gone 10th in the second race. So that was the feature race in Bahrain. Okay.
Right.
Jeddah Sprint, he was 6th. Jeddah Feature Race, he was 6th. Melbourne Sprint Race, he retired. I'm assuming he crashed out of that one. I'll take a peek in that stats there. Yeah, he was involved in the crash on lap 9 with Richard Verschoor. I don't know. Verschoor? I don't know if it's Dutch. Wrecked out of that one, but then came 4th in the feature race. So, talent, yes.
Yeah.
But is that what you do? You want to put the kid in that next step immediately?
I know. And like that's the thing. It's like it honestly reminds me of like the Gasly Red Bull situation of, are you potentially putting like putting him ahead of where he's at currently, and like, are you going to be setting him up to fail, right? Which honestly, like, I think on it, like Red Bull did, like they didn't even give Gasly a chance, but I'm not sure. Like, I think if he had just like one more year where he was at, he would have been ready. But
on the flip,
yeah,
like,
it's
what do you gain? What do you gain if you're Williams? This is what I don't understand with all these Antonelli things. I don't understand what they gain by taking Sargent out of the car and putting Antonelli in for the season.
who doesn't have any experience in F1.
Nope.
So
he only has fucking 6
sense.
races in F2. 5 races, really, because he was took out of one of them. Like,
yeah.
not
This
many...
would not be a smart move.
To be honest, it feels Lance Stroll-y to me.
In what way?
Stroll
what
did.
do you mean?
Stroll did that same thing. He jumped from Formula 3 because he won those championships. Won Formula 3, won Formula 4, hopped right into F1.
Right. Okay.
Did it allow him to actually hone his racecraft? Probably not. Maybe if he had spent an extra season in F2 and, like, you know, raced that competition, he may have been better.
Yeah. Yeah, because you do kind of see it. Like, even in his racing now, you kind of, like, he's somewhat of, like, a step behind, I think, where others are who have had kind of that chance to grow and really hone in on, like, what their style is.
I think he lacks confidence, really. I think Stroll is not a confident driver and just doesn't know when to go for a move and when not to.
Yes. Yeah. And unfortunately, like, I feel like Fernando would be such a good person to learn from, but I'm not sure that it doesn't seem like that might be the environment that's being cultivated at Aston Martin, but who knows?
Yeah. Like, Stroll is a guy who I think would be fine on, like, pace. He could definitely pace a car, run whatever his race is, but anything else that really, if you need to really make an overtake or have to get really into push or kind of something like that, other guys around him excel. Like, I think Stroll would be fantastic in, like, a WEC team or, like, some kind of sports car racing. I think he would excel in that and be a top driver there. His weaknesses, I feel, just get exposed in F1. And, again, Antonelli, you have 5 races under your belt in a non-F3 car, and you haven't even won any. You haven't even podiumed any. Yes, you've gotten better each time. But if I'm Williams, why am I going to give up Sargent? Like, fuck it. Just sit on Sargent for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bringing in Antonelli does not give you any extra merchandise.
No.
Does it give you extra sponsorship? Maybe. Obviously, he's got a lot of backing considering he's with the top teams. Like, he's always been with Prima.
Yeah, and it's very clear that he's in the Mercedes camp, and like that's Toto's keeping his eye on him, I guess, and potentially wants him in that seat later on. But I don't know. Like I think you're really right. Like it just seems like such a weird time of the year to do it too, because it's like we're not even at the summer break.
Yeah,
like,
I would
you've
do it
given
post
Logan
summer break.
Yeah, like if you are going to do it halfway through the season, the summer break is usually where those decisions get made. So it just seems so early to be making that decision, especially because it took like so long for them to confirm that Logan was going to be back last season. And then they confirmed, and like now they're just going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems so weird.
Like I would definitely say like post summer break is where you'd be like, okay, we're going to make a move for next year. We're undecided. Like if it is a Toto thing pushing this, Toto's feeling the pressure then.
Yeah.
Like he obviously has guys like telling him like, hey, we need to sort out our driver lineup. You have George, who are you going to partner with him? We need this sorted ASAP.
Yeah.
Now,
I do.
Could it be a tactic to get him in F1, Antonelli, to pressure Sainz to sign with them for cheaper than he wants?
Maybe.
Again, little mind games here thinking, yeah, we'll drag him along, but then you just know you're not going to keep him. He'll stay probably in F1. Maybe he does play out the season, but then next year he's back at Williams.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of things happening with this one, and I don't know. I mean, it's not confirmed though, right? Like it's just a rumor that this is happening. So I think
there is also almost a slip up in like I think it was in F4. He's like, oh yeah, the future or past champion Antonelli is soon to be announced. I'm not going to finish that sentence. Was what the commentator said to that race. So again, worst kept secret.
Well, at the end of the day, I honestly think that this might backfire for Williams, and I'm not sure that Toto is going to like if this is what Toto is planning, right? Like if this is kind of like one big move to try and get whoever he wants in the Mercedes seat. I honestly don't know if this is going to work out for him. I don't know. I don't like. I'm not sure.
Do you know who has the best job?
Toto knows what he's doing at this point.
You know who has the best job in F1 right now?
Who?
Vassar.
Vassar?
Yeah, definitely.
He does.
Like Toto obviously is feeling the pressure of finding a driver. Horner has his team imploding.
Yeah.
Mike Crack has fucking Lawrence Stroll breathing down his neck. McLaren, same thing with Zach Brown.
Yeah, and then there's Vassar, who's honestly, I think he's just balling. Like he's just chilling.
He's got no pressure. It's just like, okay, we'll get them soon enough.
He just seems so like jovial.
Yeah.
Right? Like he seems so happy. For a team principal in F1, he is a very jovial man.
He has no stress.
No, he doesn't. I guess he's probably just like, you know what? I caught it made in the shade. It was rumored that he met with Adrian Newey in London. And I know that like Newey's come out and said like, I'm going to take a break. And I'm like, all right, well, you're going to get bored. They always say that. Yeah, you're going to get bored and you're going to be itching to design a new car because the 2026 regulations are coming and you're going to want it. So
yeah,
sure. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's 2 weeks until F1.
Is it? Yeah, because we're going back to where is it? Imola. Yes. Yeah. Which should be fun because they actually have made some changes to that track, putting a little like I saw some photos.
Yes.
They changed some of the runoffs and actually put gravel back, and just you know, and if you get a little bit of rain there, that could be fun.
Yeah. Can you believe, like, speaking of Imola, can you believe that it's been 30 years since Ayrton Senna passed away?
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the 30th anniversary not too long ago, I think. Last week?
Yeah, because it was in early May. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not May. April? I think it was April. One of those things.
Late April, maybe. But yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago, last week or a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, 30 years? Oh my gosh.
Yep. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I know. Time gets really terrifying when you're older.
Yay. Anyway.
Yay. Anyway, yeah.
So moving on from F1, do you watch NASCAR at all?
I watched the highlights.
And it was a highlight.
It was a highlight. A lot of stuff happened. I was actually watching and I was like, oh my gosh, like we had like a photo finish again. Like
okay, not only a photo finish, the closest finish in NASCAR.
How much was it? Because like we had a closest finish earlier this season, did we not?
It was like a top 5 closest. This is now the official closest finish ever.
Oh my gosh.
I think it went to the thousandth or 10,000th of a second to measure it.
Oh my gosh.
And then people lost their mind on the internet because like they're like, well, what do you mean Larson won? You can look at the thing. His nose is hitting the line first, but the line's actually crooked. Like it's not painted straight the whole time. It's gets hand patched. But like the actual proper laser line they use with the camera with the
had Larson winning.
Yes, by like the tiniest little amount. But yeah, it still counts.
I felt really bad because you could see how excited Buescher's like team was and like, oh my gosh, we won. Like this is so exciting. And like Buescher kind of really did come from nowhere in the race. Like I feel like Larson was up there, like he was really leading for most of it, I would say. Like he had that good battle with Bell at the beginning.
Yep.
Or no, yeah, and Chastain. And Chastain was up there too for most of it and then like dropped back towards the end. But it was crazy because like obviously Buescher had a really good stage 3. Kind of came up, could have won, and it's just oh my gosh, I can't imagine how heartbreaking that would be to know you lost by like.
Did you see that all of the like photo finishes, like the really close ones this year so far? Because there's been like 3 like really close photo finishes. Yeah. All 3 have been Fords losing.
Oh wow! Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Ooh, interesting. So Larson's in a Toyota, right?
Larson's in a Chevy.
Or Chevy.
Chevy.
Right. Okay. I was like Hendricks, Chevy. I'm learning though.
It's only Gibbs and 2311 are the only Toyotas. Oh, and Legacy.
Right.
But they don't really count.
Because Hamlin. Okay, that's why I got confused because Hamlin was in that battle, and he's a Toyota.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so interesting. So the Chevy's maybe that slightly bit faster?
No, I think it's just they have maybe an extra little inch in the front or something. I don't know. Like it's just bad luck, I think, for the Fords. But like you said, the Buescher, like I've been saying, RFK is coming. They're going to get a goddamn win soon. They're gonna.
Well, yeah, clearly they're gonna. I mean, yeah, it was a really good finish. And honestly, it was a good race, like from beginning to end, because you did get those battles. Like there were so many lead changes that were happening just like in random places on the track, and everything was kind of going back and forth, and you didn't really know even like to the end of the stages who was going to get it. So it was fun. Like it was a fun one.
And I love those people who are like, hey, can we get more intermediate tracks back on the like more cookie cutter tracks we got rid of? Can we get those back on the calendar, please?
I know, because they've been the better ones this season, right?
But this car and package works for those tracks. And you know what? Yeah. It's good racing. Yeah. Super Speedway, you could tweak it here and there. It is what it is. Short track, just put more power in the car, please. That's what everyone just wants.
The short track package is just not good.
But
like you can tell they just don't have power.
Short track and the road course. If you just put a little extra more power in the cars, give them the full power for the road course and short track. Draw the power back to where it is now for intermediates, and then whatever your adjustment is for the super speedways. You have the tools to do it. I think you can do it. Just do it.
You can do it. Just do it. Hashtag or at NASCAR, please just do what the fans want.
Like, it's so close.
It would make it so much better. Like, it really would. But, oh my gosh, yeah. When I was watching the highlights, I was like, I can't believe. I honestly did not think I would ever say this, but I was like, it was one of those moments where you're like, I can't believe I wasn't able to watch this live.
Yeah.
Because it looked so exciting in the moment. Did you watch the full thing?
No, I only caught the last, 100 laps or so. Which is all you needed to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, on the Sunday, because also I was watching the Kentucky Derby, which also had a photo finish.
I forgot.
I'm like, wow, that's the closest finish I'll see all day. Nope. So, just kind of funny.
I forgot the Kentucky Derby was a thing. Excuse me. And then I saw that Travis Kelce like basically showed up like a mobster, like a 50s mobster.
Nice.
Eh.
What else do we got? Oh, did you see? Here's a fun one I saw this week. No. Dale Coyne was talking about IndyCar. Dale Coyne.
Okay.
Notorious cheap guy, or doesn't spend a whole lot of money guy.
Yeah.
You know what Dale Coyne?
Does he like not have
what?
Not have. Sorry, like my computer just went like, it's nighttime. Does he have like not have full-time drivers announced?
Yeah.
For like.
Oh yeah.
So what the heck? Okay, what did he say?
Anyway.
What did he say?
You know what he thought the series really needed?
Oh no.
Oh no, this will blow your mind.
Oh no.
Dale Coyne.
Okay, what?
Notorious guy who doesn't spend a lot of money. Says, yeah, the series needs a new car.
The man who doesn't want to spend any money.
Wants to spend the money.
So funny.
Roger, for fuck's sakes. Like, what have we been saying?
Tell you everything.
100%.
The cheapest guy in IndyCar wants to spend the money on a new car. Like,
yes, that's
time
exactly.
Car. That is actually so funny.
100%. Like, holy shit. Like, if you the cheap guy wants to spend the money, let him spend the money. Let's get a new car. Like, if only there was like a car designer out there that like is available. Hey, Adrian Newey. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Come help Delara for like a hot minute. Doesn't even have to be good.
Yeah.
Just make it look good.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
I know. So anyway, that's the thing that happened.
Yeah. Isn't IndyCar back this weekend? Is it
Yes.
this weekend?
Yes, it is. It's at
Ooh,
Indianapolis. Indianapolis for the road
Alright.
course, and then we're getting into the 500 stuff.
500. Yeah. Woohoo.
Yes.
That's
so-
exciting.
Yes.
So it'll be NASCAR and IndyCar this weekend.
Yes, NASCAR is at Darlington with a throwback race.
Oh,
So that should be
okay,
fun.
Okay.
I recommend watching that one, Taylor. You will enjoy that one.
Okay. Well, I have nothing to do this weekend, so oh wait, it's Mother's Day.
Whoops. Don't have her hear
okay.
that one.
I will find the time to watch that one because sounds like it's going to be fun.
That's
I feel like it's always fun.
Yeah.
The Darlington one, the
Darlington's
throwback
usually
race?
pretty good.
Okay.
Maybe Bubba will win this time. He didn't win last time. Like he predicted.
Oh right. Okay, maybe Bubba. Maybe that'll be my prediction, even though it's only the two of us.
Maybe if you watch it, Bubba wins.
Oh, that is it. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that Bubba's gonna win, and I'll watch it, and hopefully he does. But
job.
if he then I will never watch another race again.
You know what? I think that's fair. Then you'll be cursed and do anything. Yeah, who's my prediction? Who did I have? Just checking the bets.
Oh my gosh, the bets half the field.
No, I only bet like
Sorry,
4 guys.
no, 10 guys. Only 4 guys. Okay,
Chase Elliott,
sorry.
my bet. Chase Elliott.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good choice. I like that choice.
Yeah.
He actually won one, so
yeah, plus 1,400
maybe
was
he's-
odds. So I feel like, you know what, he
oh,
actually
that's pretty good.
yeah. Considering again,
Good
only
choice.
Hendrick and fucking Gibbs cars have won.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm counting 2311 as a Gibbs car because they are affiliated. Just before anyone
Well,
jumps on the throat.
technically,
It's still
Well, I
yes.
feel like you can under the umbrella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's under the
It's
umbrella.
owned by Hamlin, so yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess that's kind of all we got for this week. Have any fun track stories from this weekend?
No, it was so boring. It was so boring.
Everyone
It also
behaved.
poured. Everyone behaved. Oh, no, actually, I lied. I do have a funny story. So we didn't get any like incidents really. I was at 5. So, like I was surprised I didn't get any incidents and it like poured rain.
Yep.
So extra surprise. We did have a car like leak oil all the way like from halfway from 4, like in 4, all the way through like the apex and into the corner. And then he just like pulled off in the cutout. So we're like, okay, there's a line. Got, they're going to have to come and do, like put the speedy dry down. And we're just
in the rain?
like,
In the rain?
no, it stopped raining at this point.
Okay, I was gonna say if it's
So
raining
they
and there's
come-
oil, I feel like that's kind of
Yeah.
anyway.
So the hopper truck comes and puts down the speedy dry, and we're like, okay, this is not going to take long. It's like an inch of a line, right? Like just an inch, not much. They proceeded to put the speedy dry like all the way like through the corner, and it's just like taking a really long time. And we're like, what is going on? So what we didn't know is that the hopper truck was leaking oil all over the oil spill.
Oh my
So
God.
it made it that much bigger. We had like every safety team cleaning up speedy dry at one point because like the line had just, they didn't realize that there was oil spilling out of the truck.
Jesus, that's terrible.
So it was like not only this oil line that they had to clean up from the actual car that was racing, it was also the truck.
Great maintenance, CTMP. Way to go. Way to go.
So funny. Yeah, so that was really the humor of the day. Otherwise it was like cold and rainy. And like not like there were some races that were like 7 cars. And like the vintage race was 7 cars. And I was like, and they don't go very fast, right? So you watch them go by.
You wait a couple
And
minutes.
then you're like, uh-huh. Oh, here they come again. You watch them go and you're like, this is like watching paint dry.
And they get very spread out.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was okay. But their VDS is happening next weekend. I'm very excited. The Victoria Day Sprints is going to be fabulous.
I apologize for not committing to that.
Is okay.
I blame my wife.
We will get you at the track for IMSA, which is like I would say is the most exciting race weekend.
Definitely.
It is awesome. I think they're bringing more cars this year. Oh, we're getting the Mazdas. We're getting the Mazdas.
Oh, that could be really fun down the straight.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be super fun, and you're gonna have the time of your life marshalling that. So anyway,
I look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's gonna be fun. Yay.
Okay, and on that note, I think that's all we got for this week. Kind of a shorter one. No Steven to drag us out with, So, is that too mean? It's okay.
Well,
he won't see this. He won't see this. He won't see this.
He's not gonna watch.
No,
wow.
Definitely. He doesn't watch.
We should quiz him. Next week we'll quiz him. What do we talk about?
Steven, if you get to this point in the episode, I will give you $20. If you watch this, okay? Okay.
I will also give you $20. So you'll have a total of $40.
Yes. If you've gotten to this point, which I doubt you will. So anyway. Thanks for the episode this week, Taylor. This is fun. We'll be back next week. Probably again Thursday. And do all the things like subscribe, everything to help us. All good. And goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.